What's going on, everybody? It's Garrett here, back from Icast 2023 live with another great product showcase here. We got Chris from Bates Reels. They got some great stuff. Chris, how you doing today?
Doing good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We've been getting a lot of good feedback at the show, and
Yeah,
I mean, we obviously think that we make a good product and have for a while, but it's nice when other people start seeing and saying the same thing.
you start getting that recognition
Yeah.
across the board and all that stuff. So
Yeah, for sure.
talk a little bit about what you got coming out this year. I'm excited. I've got one of the El Jefes, which is a 150 size reel.
Yeah.
And I saw that you guys got a new one coming out that is a little smaller, more palmable, and it's got me pretty excited.
Yeah, for sure. So before I get to the Hundo, our new reel, let
Yeah.
me just say a little bit about our existing reels.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of the foundation for
Yeah.
what we've been able to introduce this year.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, we're Bates Fishing Company. We're out of the Dallas area in Texas, and we're a reel manufacturer. We manufacture, for now, low profile bait casting reels.
Yeah.
We have a huge crossover market where a lot of our customers and anglers, especially in the Texas region, they're fishing bass tournaments on the weekend, and primarily fishing freshwater systems.
Yeah.
And then, a couple times a summer or whatever throughout the year, they'll go down the coast and
Start
use all their
saltwater
same
system.
gear. So we wanted to manufacture something that kind of fit the whole bill. Right?
Yeah.
And
I
so
found myself doing that this week. I came down for a couple days early and saltwater fished the whole time, and I was like, man, I wish I had a reel that could do both, so I wouldn't have to switch them out or be extra careful about cleaning them and stuff.
So on the manufacturing side, what allows us to do that is that all of our reels foundationally start with our machined aluminum frame.
Okay.
So rather than using plastic for a frame or even metal that has been like poured or die cast, we actually start with solid block aluminum. So think like big offshore reels or even the fly fishing industry that started doing this about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Our reels start off as a solid, rectangular billet of aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
They go through a multi-stage process and they're cut down by a CNC machine
into
a one-piece frame. And then we build everything else into that. And so
that's awesome.
About 2 years ago, we hit the market with our 150 size frames. What I'm holding right now is called the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
We think that that's true, but it's definitely our most popular product that we sell.
Yeah.
And so
it's a good looking reel.
We start with that frame. We machine our own gears. We do custom stuff on our cork handles and our thumb bars.
Yeah.
A lot of this reel is stuff that we have engineered and designed ourselves rather than going into some factory overseas and picking parts and pieces and putting them all together.
Yeah.
So we're really proud of that. We're really proud of what we've created. This reel, as far as functionality, it comes in a couple different gear ratios. Our entire line exists within the 6:3-to-1 and 8-to-1 categories.
Yeah, it pretty much covers all your bases.
It covers it. Yeah, we down the road we'll make something that's for slow, deep cranking.
Yeah.
We probably won't make anything faster than what we make right now.
That 9-to-1 stuff is starting to get more popular, but I don't know if it's
it's popular for the end user. What we've learned is that once you get above the 8-to-1 category, the gears themselves get so slim that they just don't hold up over time.
Makes sense.
And part of our desire as a brand and as a manufacturer is, man, we want to get back to kind of the roots of fishing equipment, and we want to make something that I can pass down to my kids.
Yeah.
They can pass down to their kids.
Yeah.
And so, man, we're all about durability and longevity.
That's important in our industry as kayak anglers because we're pretty hard on all of our equipment. Just beating it all over the place.
For sure.
It's always
thrown into the truck and thrown onto the kayak and
thrown
when you lose a fish and all that stuff, right? So yeah, man. So that kind of covers what were our inaugural lineup of reels.
Yeah.
And then this year here at the show at Icast, we dropped
if you want to
the
set this
Hundo.
Up here, we'll, close-ups on that.
So
the GOAT.
We dropped the Hundo. So our 150 size frame, we just downsized it.
Yeah.
And so the Hundo is our 100. It's the first reel of our 100 series of reels.
Yeah.
It's the same manufacturing process. It, like the 150s, it starts out as a single block of aluminum. That will always be true for our reel frames.
Yeah.
A couple of things that we did differently with the Hundo is we actually so we patented a dual braking system in the Hundo.
Nice.
So our 150 reels, they use kind of standard magnetic brakes.
Yeah.
In the Hundo, we put together a combination of centrifugal and magnetic brakes.
Okay.
And so especially for a reel that's this size, and guys that are going to be using on applications with lighter lures, or lighter lines, or like for kayak anglers, you spend a lot of time fighting against the wind.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's tough enough in your boat already. You don't need it with your reel too.
Yeah.
So our braking system is really user friendly for the angler that doesn't have 12 reels on his boat, is needing to change lures, is needing to make different applications, and all that kind of stuff.
That's a big thing too, is versatility, because like you're saying, we typically only have a small selection of rods, so that one rod that we use has to be able to do a wide variety of stuff for us.
So I'm not saying that this is like it's not something that I would say as an end user or as a customer you can definitely do this. This is a story, right? But when I had this for a few months product testing it, I could cast everything from a 32nd of an ounce lure, which I do a lot of trout fishing, so kind of small stream, small lure kind of stuff, all the way up to an ounce and a quarter. And for me, I never had to adjust the brakes on
range.
It's a huge range. So our hope is that everybody else's experience will be somewhat similar.
So we'll have lots more of those stories.
Absolutely,
down
man.
The line.
So on this reel, we also introduced a new material for the grip. So this is gum rubber.
Okay.
So if you ever wore like old Chuck Taylor All-Star tennis shoes, it's the same material that's used on the bottom of the sole.
Yeah.
We just took that and turned it into a grip material.
That's cool. It gives it a cool look, I think.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Like different.
And it has a little bit of a different tacky vibe than some of your more widely used grip materials.
Yeah,
so
that just feels so good in the hands.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's a good looking reel too. I want to set it up here so he can take a look at that. So you were saying that there's you guys came out with the new knobs and stuff. Is there anything else about it that was? I think we talked a little bit about the being able to customize it.
Yeah. So this is not available yet through Baits Fishing, but something else that's new on the Hundo is on the crank arm. So if you turn that reel around so that you can see the screw that's going down into the shaft. So we transitioned our reels from like a capped assembly to that torque screw.
Yeah.
And so the way that we have that assembled, we've eliminated a lot of the washers and spacers that is typically required there.
Yeah.
And stripped it down. So when you loosen that torque screw, that pops out, the handle comes off. And so down the road, we're looking at having some aftermarket pieces that will basically take our reels and make them modular or customizable for the end user.
Dude, that's awesome.
So we'll have different length crank arms, which as a manufacturer, you don't really understand what the customer wants until you get all the negative feedback once products has been released.
Like, this one's too small or this one's too big.
And
all that.
Yeah, it's like, man, we love that oversized handle. Or it's like, man, I would literally never fish that reel because of that handle.
Yeah.
And so, man, down the road, we're just going to eliminate that conversation.
Yeah.
And say, like, hey, here's the reel. Yeah. And here are all the options. So you can use an oversized handle. You can use a standard size handle.
Yeah.
You can change the grip material out. We'll even do the same thing with our spools. So we'll make spools that are different depths and different colors and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. So you can get like one or get multiple of the same reel, but then have different spool depths, different handle.
That's
so you
right.
don't have to manufacture tons of different.
That's right.
Lines of reels. So that's a pretty innovative concept. I feel like that's.
Yeah, we hope so. One of the other problems it solved is for the tournament anglers. I remember having times where I looked down on my boat and I couldn't remember what line I had on what reel or whatever it was, because everything looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you can pop off and
like have a knob color. That's different for everything. Or
whatever
like
it is.
That's awesome. How do you dial in the braking system on that reel?
So you have the centrifugal brake that's connected to the spool.
Yeah.
That thing is working independently all of the time.
Okay.
Okay. And then the magnetic brake is what you adjust. So you adjust it the same way that you would adjust a standard magnetic
little,
brake.
Dial on it.
That's right. And so that as you're adjusting those magnets, they're either getting closer to or further away from the independently operating centrifugal brake.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So you're basically adjusting the way that the magnets are acting on the first braking system.
Yeah. That's awesome. So for now, you guys have all casting reels in your lineup. Is that right?
That's correct.
Do you guys have any plans for spinning reels, or?
We do, yeah. So we hope by this time next year that we've got an entire line of spinning reels to introduce to you.
Awesome.
We're man, but it's fingers crossed. So we're trying to get there, and we're working hard.
Yeah.
Man,
well, I appreciate you taking your time to come talk with us about it. Your all products. I really enjoy it. Like I said, I had the Hefe, and I really liked that reel. It's been
good.
It's been a workhorse for me. I put it on my flipping stick and do all kinds of stuff with it.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
But I'm excited to get my hands on some of those Hundos and start replacing some of my Daiwas for those.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, Daiwa. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put that plug in there. But yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, it's a good show. But with that, we'll see you later. We'll be back with some more products.